This video is going to look at permissions, entitlements in Adaptable. We've had a couple of questions from our users which have come in over the last few days, so I thought I would put them together because they all kind of shine light on a different aspect of how permissions work. So the three questions are these. First of all, here's some dummy data, a very basic adaptable setup. And as you can see, we have two layouts, a simple layout and we've got a group layout. And the user's able to run reports, and obviously they're able to do stuff in the dashboard as they require. They're able to, add toolbars, etc., etc. And the three questions are, number one, is it possible to make this dashboard read-only so you can't do what I just did, i.e. Manipulate toolbars like that? That was the first question. The second is, would it be possible for some users to be able to run reports like I can now, but for other users not to? And the third question was whether it would be possible to allow some layouts, say for instance simple layout, to be editable, but for other layouts, say in this case group layout, not to be editable. Can we do that? So we're going to look at all three of those questions in this demo and show how each of those are possible. And we're going to do it because I have some very, very basic code here, which is the code for the grid we just saw. So we'll look at those in turn. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to make some modules, in this case the dashboard, to be read-only. So you do that through entitlement options. And in entitlement options, we have module entitlements. And the most straightforward way to do that is through what we call list entitlements. So we will say we want the adaptable module called dashboard to have a access level. And there's three types of access level you can have. You can be full, which is the default, where everything is available. Hidden, where it's totally hidden, which is what we might need later for export. And read only, which is what we want now for the dashboard. So if I now do that, as the grid reloads, we can now see that this button has closed, and when I go into dashboard, I'm no longer able to add tabs or move stuff. So we've now made the dashboard read only. It's still available, people can still access it, but they can no longer edit it. So you might think then we can do the same again. So for instance, you might think we can let's add two more. So you might say, let's do the same for layouts. Let's make the layout read only, and let's make export to be hidden. And you might think that will answer the questions we added. But now when we look at this, we can see that export is hidden, which is good, but it's not hidden just for me, just for one user. It's now going to be hidden for every user. And we can see that while this layout is not editable and this layout is not editable, essentially it means we've made all layouts read-only rather than just the layout we want. So the way to do export on a per-person basis is actually to use the second way of module entitlements. This one here is the list entitlement, which is fine for when you've got a very basic everybody use case. But if you want to do something more complicated, then essentially you need to do it via a function. And then essentially this module entitlements takes as context entitlement context, and then we should return now our basic access level, which is going to be full. So unless we override it, it's full. And now we can use this function to do the other stuff we wanted. So for instance, we can say if the context module is equal to dashboard, then obviously we want to return read only. And now we can now do our export, because what we can now say is we can now say if the context for the module is equal to export, and we only want it for me, so we can say and the context username, and my username is demo user in this case, and now we're going to return hidden. So essentially we've said If it's the dashboard, then make it read-only for everybody. And if the module is export and I'm the user, then return hidden, otherwise return full. And now we can see that's happened. I don't see export, but other users will. And we still have the dashboard, but it's read-only like it was in the last case, and it's read-only for everyone. So that answers the second requirement, to make export sometimes visible and sometimes not. And that now leaves the third item, and that is how can we do it so that simple layout remains editable, but group layout won't be editable. And the way to do that is again through entitlements, but instead of doing it at through entitlement options, which is part of the adaptable options, you actually do it at the object level. So here we can see, here are the two layouts we've defined, the simple layout and the group layout, and literally all we need to do is update this group layout to say is read only true. Okay, and because we have the revision to automatically update, that will update our predefined config, and now we're saying this layout is read only, this layout isn't, and all the other entitlements we established before still apply. So now when we go back to our code, we still don't see export because I'm me, we still can't edit the dashboard. Simple layout is editable, but hopefully, there we are, group layout is not editable and I can't delete it. And indeed, if I go into the layout section, you can see it better. The simple layout I'm able to edit and delete, and the group layout I can't. So there we are, we've answered the three questions. We've made the entire module of dashboard read-only. We've hidden the export module, but only on a per user basis, and in a real world, you would most likely call some kind of entitlement service or permission server on your back end in order to obviously get the information back. And finally, we've made one layout read-only while leaving other layouts editable. I hope that answers the questions of our users, and it was of more wider interest and benefit. If you'd like to learn more about Adaptable, please get in touch. We'll be delighted to provide you with a free, no obligation trial license, or give you a one-to-one demo so we can find out what your concerns, data grid requirements and use cases are. Thank you for watching.